The sharp, relentless beep of the hospital monitor is the only sound cutting through the heavy silence of the ward. Todd lies there, barely recognizable, broken not just in body, but in spirit. A severe internal injury, a lacerated spleen, the result of an intense altercation that pushed him to the very edge. But the most terrifying part is not the physical agony tearing through his abdomen. It is the chilling realization that the man who put him in this bed, Theo, is already out there spinning a dangerous web of lies. Theo is playing the victim, claiming self-defense, while Todd wrestles with a suffocating blanket of shame. If you want to stay ahead of every shocking twist on the cobbles, make sure to hit that like button and subscribe to CoronationST update right now. We bring you the deepest dives into Weatherfield's darkest secrets, and you won't want to miss what happens next. The reality of what happened behind closed doors is a nightmare that Todd is struggling to wake up from. This was never just a one-off argument that got out of hand. It was the devastating climax of months of psychological warfare. Coercive control is a silent destroyer. It does not always start with a raised hand. It starts with isolated comments, subtle manipulations, and the slow, agonizing dismantling of a person's self-worth. By the time the situation escalated to a physical breaking point, Todd had already been conditioned to believe that he was the problem. Lying in that sterile hospital bed, the physical pain is almost secondary to the mental torment. He keeps replaying the events, searching for what he did wrong, wondering if he somehow provoked the rage that nearly caused his death. This is the twisted power of an abuser like Theo. He knows exactly how to flip the script. While Todd is fighting for his life, Theo is putting on the performance of a lifetime for the authorities. He is calm, collected, and armed with a fabricated story of self-defense. When the accusations surfaced, Theo was ready. He painted Todd as the aggressor, using Todd's known vulnerabilities and past mistakes to build a narrative that casts himself as the tragic survivor of a volatile relationship. It is a terrifyingly common tactic, designed to create reasonable doubt and leave the true victim feeling utterly defenseless. When the police arrive at the hospital to take Todd's statement, the atmosphere is suffocating. You can feel the tension radiating off the screen. Todd is trembling, every breath a sharp reminder of his lacerated spleen, but the fear of not being believed hurts worse. How do you explain to an officer that the person who broke your body has already broken your mind? How do you articulate the invisible chains of coercive control to someone looking for straightforward evidence? Todd stammers, his words caught in a throat tight with guilt. He actually tries to justify Theo's actions. He whispers that maybe he pushed Theo too far. Maybe he should have just kept his mouth shut. It is absolutely heartbreaking to witness. The sheer psychological complexity of the abuse is laid bare, showing how victims are manipulated into carrying the weight of their abuser's sins. But Weatherfield is a community built on resilience, and secrets like this rarely stay buried in the shadows for long. The residents of the street begin to notice the inconsistencies in Theo's polished story. The facade starts to crack ever so slightly. People who have known Todd for years, who know his heart and his flaws, refuse to buy into the narrative that he brought this upon himself. The community rallying around Todd is one of the most powerful turning points in this entire storyline. It is not just about bringing a casserole to a hospital room, it is about standing as a united front against manipulation. Some of the most poignant moments come from neighbours who carry their own unseen scars. Characters who have survived their own traumas, who know exactly what it looks like when someone is trapped in a cycle of fear, step forward. They bypass the gossip and the rumour mill to offer something much more profound: empathy. When a fellow survivor sits by Todd's bed, looking him directly in the eye, and tells him, "This is not your fault," you can almost see the heavy, suffocating weight begin to lift. They share their own stories, bridging the gap between past and present, proving that the shadows of abuse do not have to define your future. They remind him that the shame he feels does not belong to him. It belongs entirely to the man who put him there. This collective support is the lifeline Todd desperately needs. It is the spark that finally gives him the courage to tell the police the unvarnished truth. The statement he gives is raw, tearful, and incredibly brave. He details the isolation, the gaslighting, the sensual coercion wrapped in false affection, and the terrifying moment when Theo's mask fully slipped. He stops protecting the man who nearly brought about his death. It is a monumental shift. Todd transitions from a victim drowning in self-blame to a survivor reclaiming his voice. Yet, the road to recovery is far from a simple, straight line. The physical wounds will eventually heal, but the psychological trauma requires a different kind of care. The narrative does not shy away from the harsh reality that love, support, and community, while vital, are not a magic cure. Todd realizes that to truly break free from the mental prison Theo built, he needs professional support. The therapy sessions depicted are intense and deeply moving, shedding light on the painstaking process of unlearning the lies an abuser forces you to believe. It is about rebuilding a shattered identity from the ground up, learning to trust his own instincts again, and understanding that surviving was just the first step. Theo's desperate attempts to maintain control from afar only highlight his pathetic nature. As his web of lies unravels and the community completely turns their backs on him, his true colours are exposed for everyone to see. He is no longer the charming, misunderstood partner. He is a coward, scrambling for relevance. But the focus rightly remains on Todd's journey. It is a testament to the fact that while the scars of coercive control run deep, they do not have to dictate the rest of your life. Through professional guidance and the unwavering empathy of his community, Todd begins to envision a horizon free from violence, fear, and manipulation. This storyline is a masterclass in handling sensitive, incredibly complex issues with the gravity they deserve, keeping viewers on the edge of their seats while delivering a message of profound hope. It challenges us to look closer at the relationships around us and reminds us of the life-saving power of simply believing a survivor. If this deep dive into Todd's harrowing journey kept you hooked, and you want to ensure you never miss a single update, theory, or breakdown from the cobbles, make sure you hit that subscribe button, leave a like, and share your thoughts in the comments below. Stay tuned to CoronationST update, because the drama in Weatherfield never stops, and we will be right here to uncover it all.